Hello everybody, this is Ogre Boy, and I'm going to be doing my review for the 2011 movie Captain America: The First Avenger. The movie is directed by Joe Johnston and written by Christopher Marcus and Steve McFeely. And this movie follows Steve Rogers, who goes from a scrawny, uh, weak kid from Brooklyn to the superhero that we all know and love as Captain America. Um, he enlists in the army and agrees to be part of the super soldier program where he gets the uh, super soldier serum injected into his body, and he goes from this really scrawny little short skinny guy to this really buff tall character and everything. Um, that's pretty much the first half of the movie, is kind of like leading up to him becoming Captain America, and then the second half shows him going on different missions and everything, and facing off with Red Skull. The cast in this is really good. Chris Evans was absolutely perfect choice for Captain America. When I first heard about it, I was really not that excited. I wasn't a big fan of him. I didn't care for the Fantastic Four movies as much. I thought they were alright, and he was actually one of my least favorite things about those movies. And I did like Not Another Teen Movie, but that was more of like a guilty pleasure. Like, I didn't think it was anything special or anything, and the thought of the lead actor from that movie playing Captain America, I thought that was just one of the worst ideas and everything, and he totally surprised me. He's absolutely perfect as Steve Rogers and Captain America. Sebastian Stan plays Bucky Barnes, who is Steve's best friend, and he does a very good job too. The chemistry between him and Chris Evans is very good. They work very well together and everything. And there's a scene where Bucky falls to his death, and everything, and the emotional impact it has on Steve Rogers is written very well, and Chris Evans does a really great job during the scenes and everything afterwards, where he's kind of blaming himself for Bucky's death and everything. I really like the way the emotional toll goes on that. Of course, we all know Bucky didn't really fully die, but I'll talk more about that in my review for the next Captain America movie. Tommy Lee Jones plays Chester Phillips, who is like the leader of the colonel of Steve Rogers' group and everything, and he kind of helped start the super soldier program and everything. He does a really good job playing this character and everything. There's one scene in the movie where towards the end of it, right before he goes off to have his big fight with Red Skull, when he kisses Peggy Carter and everything, and then he looks at Tommy Lee Jones, and Tommy Lee Jones says, "I'm not gonna kiss you." I crack up every time I see that scene. I don't know what it is. I think it's just the way Tommy Lee Jones delivered that line. It cracked me up. It kind of reminded me of something that a person that I know would have said, a family friend a long time ago. I don't know why it makes me think of him when he says it, but it just cracks me up. Hugo Weaving plays Jonathan Schmidt, not Jonathan Schmidt, Johann Schmidt, who later becomes the Red Skull. I think he's pretty good, does a pretty good job. I think he's kind of one of the more underrated MCU villains and everything. I think he played the character very, very well and everything. I hated that we didn't really know what happened to him at the end of this movie, kind of. Yeah, we finally got an answer to that in Avengers: Infinity War and everything. But I think that that Hugo Weaving did a really good job playing the character, and I thought they did a really great job on the makeup effects for him and everything. if they did use CGI, you couldn't really tell. It was really good CGI, but I'm almost 100% positive they used makeup effects for Red Skull's face and head and everything. I thought they did a really great job on that. Um, Haley Atwell plays Peggy Carter, who is Steve's love interest, and she also was one of the ones that helped run the army, or the people in Steve's group and everything, and she does a really good job and everything. She fits the character very well, and the chemistry between her and Chris Evans works really well. And she's like really strict, but she's also really likable at the same time and everything. And she's really pretty good looking too, I think. I think she's really a pretty actress, and I think she did a really great job playing Peggy. Dominique Cooper plays Howard Stark, who is Tony Stark's father. This was way before Tony was born. He helped create some of the weapons that they use in Captain America's team and everything. And I think he was very well cast. I think that he did a great job playing him. He's not a huge role, but he's in there quite a bit and everything. And I thought he did a good job. And Stanley Tucci is in this. He plays the guy who created the super soldier serum. He had originally was forced to test it out on Johann Schmidt, that is what caused him to become the Red Skull. But Stanley Tucci's character, Abraham Erskine, is very likable and everything, and he's not in this movie a lot. He's only in there a little bit throughout the first half of the movie, but his role is pretty important and everything, and I really do think he was played very well by Stanley Tucci. I think that Stanley Tucci actually mainly took the role because he wanted to be in a movie where he had to have a German accent, because he wanted a challenge. He said it would be a challenge to do the German accent. But I think that he was a very well casted person for it. The score by Alan Silverstreet is one of my favorites in an MCU movie. I think out of all the Phase 1 movies aside from the Avengers, this one is the best score, which he also did the score for the Avengers. But out of like all the solo movies for the characters, Iron Man, Thor, Hulk, this one, I think Captain America has the best score. I think Alan Silverstreet did a really great job bringing the war feeling to this movie, and he did a really great job on the score. And like the music in certain scenes, it feels like you can tell you're supposed to be watching a soldier and stuff. I don't really know how to explain it, really, but he just does a perfect job on the score. The cinematography by Shelley Johnson is really good. I think it was the best out of the Phase 1 movies. I think it was the best cinematography at the time after the first Iron Man movie. There was some really awesome scenes and everything, and I also like the sets and stuff in this movie. They have a lot of really cool sets and practical effects in this movie. The main CGI they really had in this was to put Chris Evans' head on a smaller, skinnier person's body and everything, but I thought they did a really great job with the visual effects in this, and the makeup and sets and all that. I thought it was really amazing. Some of the best and everything. The editing by Jeffrey Ford and Robert Dalva was really good too. I don't think it's the best in the MCU, but they did a really good job with the editing and everything. It's not the best, but it's definitely one of the best, I think. And everything. But this is a really good movie, very well made and everything. Very well written. The characters are all really likable, except for, of course, Red Skull, but he's one of those villains that's fun to watch because Hugo Weaving does such a great job playing him, and I think it kind of sucks that Hugo Weaving doesn't want to ever play him ever again. But I thought he did a really good job and everything, and this was just a really fun movie to watch. It gets better every time I watch it and everything. And, I think Joe Johnston did a really great job directing it. He's one of my favorite directors. He directed Jumanji and Honey, I Shrunk the Kids and October Sky, Jurassic Park 3, The Wolf Man, and a bunch of other movies that I like. But this is definitely one of the better movies of the MCU's Phase 1 and everything. And I'd give it a 8 out of 10. I don't think it's quite as good as some of the other MCU movies, but I still enjoy it quite a bit, and it's a lot of fun to watch and everything. But if there's any more top 10 lists, movie reviews, movie series rankings you'd like me to do, let me know in the comments. I'll try to get my review for the Avengers out sometime within the next few days and everything. I can't wait to review that because I love the Avengers and everything. Can't wait to talk about that one. But feel free to like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments what you think about Captain America: The First Avenger and everything. Is it one of your favorites? Is it one of your least favorites? And everything. Let me know in the comments what you think. And thank you, and have a good day.